I'm 28 weeks pregnant, almost 29 weeks pregnant, and I cannot be going into labor right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my 29 week bump date. I'm 29 weeks pregnant today. Let's talk about my symptoms for this week. My first symptom for this week, really bad Braxton Hicks contractions. I get Braxton Hicks contractions every single day, fairly normal, well it is normal, and they don't hurt. But there was one particular night that I had what at the time didn't feel like Braxton Hicks contractions. They actually felt like labor contractions, like the early stages of labor, which was the same kind of feelings that I got when I was in the early stages of labor with Talia. And they were consistent and they were fairly long in length. I didn't time them. It all happened, it was just all so crazy. I ended up having to get in the shower. Luke Googled a bunch of things to try and stop Braxton Hicks contractions, and we did all of them. I had a hot tea, I laid on my side, I had cold water, I relaxed a little bit, I tried having a hot shower or like a warm shower, and slowly but surely they went away. So they were Braxton Hicks contractions, hopefully. And the next step was to just go into the hospital and have them check me out. But thankfully, before we got to that point, it had stopped, like they'd just gone away. Oh my goodness, it was not fun. I was like, I'm 28 weeks pregnant, almost 29 weeks pregnant, and I cannot be going into labor right now. But that is what it felt like. If it had just come out of the blue and, you know, nothing seemingly caused it, I would have probably just gone straight to the hospital. But we are 100% sure of what caused these contractions. It was sex. So basically, there's a lot of things within that realm that can stimulate you in a certain way to bring on contractions. And we had done all of those things. Just TMI. So I was like, great, you put me into labor basically. So because we knew the cause of it, we were a little less concerned. If it had just come out of the blue, like I said, we would have just gone straight to the emergency room. But we were like, oh, okay, we need to be careful in the future because we don't want this happening again. With Talia, once those contractions started, she was here within 5 hours. Like it was 5 or 6 hours, I think it was. It was a really fast labor. So I need to be super careful in this pregnancy. I'm struggling to know what's normal and what's not when it comes to sex triggering these things, because to be completely honest with you guys, I just wasn't sexually active in my pregnancy with Talia. I didn't have this experience with Talia. It just wasn't a thing. So this is all new territory to me, even though I have had two pregnancies that have progressed past a few weeks. Braxton, that was a long story of Braxton Hicks contractions happened this week. The next symptom is vivid dreams. Oh, I had a nightmare that we lost baby girl, like her heart stopped basically. And it was the most real thing, the most real dream. And it was so heartbreaking and it was so vivid, but at the same time so confusing. But I know that pregnancy can cause these things. I know that pregnancy is a cause of vivid dreams. So I tried not to stress too much, and as soon as I woke up from my sleep, baby girl was moving around and kicking and like rolling and whatnot. She's a super active baby. So I put my mind at ease, and it wasn't some intuition that was telling me that something was wrong. It was just a vivid dream that I had because I'm pregnant. Another symptom that has been pretty consistent throughout my pregnancy is thrush. And I actually went to the doctor and requested a swab for this because it has been around for so long, and I've been using the treatment, like the cream, for so long now that I was like, maybe it's not thrush. Maybe I just assumed and I've just been getting the wrong like medication for it. So I went to the doctor and I got a swab, and the results came back as thrush. So basically I need the oral pill to get rid of it, but I can't take the oral pill to get rid of it because I am pregnant. So I just have to put up with it and keep using the creams and hope that it goes away before baby's born, because I can't imagine how uncomfortable that's going to be if I go into labor while I have Thrush. Another symptom I've had this week is just exhaustion, like fatigue. In the beginning of your pregnancy, you're extremely tired because it's all hormonal and there's a lot going on in your body hormonally. In the second trimester, it's not so bad, you're not as tired. But then when you hit the third trimester, you're just exhausted because you're carrying all of this weight around. I'm a naturally small person. I don't have a lot to me. Even though baby isn't, you know, huge, it's just a lot of extra weight that my body isn't used to carrying around. So I'm just feeling so extremely exhausted, especially chasing Talia around. When I was pregnant with Talia, I could just nap when I was tired because I didn't have any other kids. That is not the case this time. So I'm chasing her around and I'm huge and I'm exhausted and I just don't have the energy. So fatigue is one of the symptoms that I've had this week as well. Another symptom that I've had this week, and I don't know if it's pregnancy related or completely just unrelated, is like under my, I'm wearing black so it's hard to show you, but like under my breast area, I guess like my ribs under there, just on this side, is painful. It hurts. Like it's a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a bruise pain, but sharp when I breathe in. I don't know how to explain it. So I think maybe it's because I have been wearing underwired bras, and also just even the ones that aren't underwired, like all of the bras that I'm wearing, I'm now wearing on like the biggest setting and they're all still too tight. Like I did not have this problem with Talia. Even the bras that I have in my drawer, which are like breastfeeding maternity bras that I wore in my pregnancy with Talia, are too tight. Like they hurt, and they don't have, they're like the sports bra kind of thing where you like slip it on and there's no like straps. It's just, I'm huge. Even those don't fit me, so I think I'm going to need to go and buy some more bigger sized maternity bras. I don't remember my boobs getting this big with Talia. I know they did get bigger, but this is crazy. For me anyway, because I'm like usually flat like an ironing board. So yes, I have sore under here and I need to do some bra shopping. Baby girl has dropped so much this week. I mentioned it to Luke and he was like, yes, like I can see she's much lower than she was before. I don't know if she's head down yet because I still haven't had a scan recently I haven't had a scan in ages, since 20 weeks or something like that. But the last time I had a midwife appointment, they felt her and said she was transverse, so like across my tummy. I don't know if she's head down now, but she's dropped. So I hope that means she's head down and she's, you know, getting ready, because if she's breech, I am not going to be happy about that. But you know, you can't control these things. It just goes how it goes. I would love for her to be head down and getting ready, but I don't know if it's normal for her to be dropping down at this point in pregnancy. I don't remember when Talia dropped. I feel like it was late in the 30s. So I feel like this baby is just so keen to get into this world with those contractions the other night, and then I just have a feeling it is going to happen quickly. If we have all the kids when I go into labor, it's going to be a scramble to try and get all of them sat and looked after and you know, other parents or whoever, whatever time it is, organizing them to come before we leave. I hope I don't give birth in the car, but once again, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, speaking about my gestational diabetes now. I saw my GP the other day, like I said, to get a swab and to get my results back for the swab and whatnot. And I spoke to her a little bit about my gestational diabetes diagnosis. I had my gestational diabetes test done at the hospital, not with my GP. Why do I keep getting those confused? So she wasn't the one that ran the actual test. While I was collecting my swab results, I just mentioned that I had gestational diabetes and I was a bit confused about the diagnosis. And she said to me, "You've been really sick. Did you test after you got better? Did you get the test done after you got better?" And I said, no, actually the day I had the test done was by far the worst day. during my month of being sick, I had lost my voice completely, and it was that night that I decided I absolutely needed antibiotics to get rid of it, which I was really wanting to avoid, but I was just so incredibly ill. If you watch my videos from like a week and a bit ago, you can't even hear me, like I'm so sick. And she said to me, they're not meant to test you when you're sick, especially when you're that sick, because it throws your numbers off, like your glucose level numbers off. So you need to be retested. She said you need to go back to the hospital and request a retest in a couple of weeks when you're feeling 100% better. Get retested for gestational diabetes. And she said, and if they refuse to test you, come back to me and I will get you retested for gestational diabetes, just so that we know 100% you have it or you don't. I think I'm starting to get sick again, which is so super annoying. Hopefully it just goes away and it doesn't get worse, because if it does, by the time I get better, I'm gonna be having her and I won't actually know if I ever had gestational diabetes. But either way, I'm wanting to get retested. My GP wants me to get retested. I'm gonna speak to my midwives about it. I've been testing my blood glucose levels for the last week, and I haven't had any crazy high readings. In fact, they've actually been really low, maybe even too low. I don't know what that means, that's a whole other thing. I'm speaking to my dietitian tomorrow about it, and then I have an appointment at the hospital with the dietitian next Friday. So I'm gonna try and get it sorted. I'm gonna try and get a retest because I want to know if I have gestational diabetes. Fair enough. Anyway, this has actually probably been my longest bump date because I've had so much to talk about. I'm going to just leave it there, and I'm going to go ahead and show you my 29-week baby bump. 29 weeks! Anyway guys, that was my 29-week bump date. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe below if you want to follow our journey. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!